This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We do try to do Facebook posts and keep our social media up, at least Instagram and Pinterest and items like that.
You'll continue to see this trend and shift of retailers who have this online footprint, but encouraging you to come into the store to make that purchase.
With all the options to shop online, some people are still going to the stores to shop. What do retailers need to do to stay alive in this age of online shopping? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohen, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. We'll have more on retail sales in a moment, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. It has happened again. Another murder in the Seminole Heights neighborhood of Tampa. That makes 4, as fears about a possible serial killer continue. Residents of the neighborhood reported hearing shots just before 5 a.m. this morning. Officers responded and found the body of 60-year-old Ronald Felton, who had been walking across the street to a church where he feeds the homeless. A gunman came up behind him and fired. Police believe the suspect lives in the neighborhood. They have been searching for the suspect for over a month.
The men and women of the Tampa Police Department, this is personal. They're not going to stop. They haven't stopped for a month. We have saturated this area with police officers, and we will continue to do this. This has got to stop, and we will hunt this person down until we find them.
Police are asking anyone with information to contact the police. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is cracking down on drivers on I-75. 12 traffic units were enforcing the speed limit this morning in both directions. Deputies say they are focusing on speeders, drivers failing to move over, distracted and aggressive drivers. The Sheriff's Office wrote on Facebook and Twitter this morning, drivers consider this their warning. The homeless issue has plagued Sarasota for years now. Now, another attempt to do something about it. County commissioners are giving the green light to move forward with 2 contracts. The Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness will implement a program to connect the homeless with services, and the county will also help purchase new beds at the Salvation Army. Shark fishing may soon be banned in the city of Venice. Concerns are being raised by members of the city council over damage to the Venice fishing pier. The pier is the only one in southwest Florida where shark fishing is still allowed. Commissioners aren't just worried about drawing sharks closer to shore, but also the bait used to lure them in.
I'm deeply concerned about, I understood, buckets of blood and chum being dumped off the pier. And that floating in towards shore.
The City Council will be holding public hearings on the issue. They're gone. The amazing sandcastles from the Crystal Classic. Crews knocked down the sculptures from the event this afternoon. The 4-day festival brought out thousands of people to see the pieces of art created by master sculptors from around the world. While the official totals have not been released just yet, organizers believe they surpassed attendance records. A free parking app is now available for iOS and Android users to help drivers find a public parking space. The app is called Parker and helps drivers find a space in downtown Sarasota, Southside Village, St. Armand Circle, and Lido Beach. Parker provides a real-time map on your smartphone or tablet showing street parking availability. To download Parker, go to the Apple Store or Google Play. I did that about an hour ago. A movie based on the legendary life of a golfer is going to be filmed on the Suncoast. A documentary about Chichi Rodriguez will begin filming as soon as next month. The production is moving here after Hurricane Maria wiped out shooting in Puerto Rico. Sarasota County Commissioners approved an incentive package requested by the Film Commission.
And it's great that we can be of help and that they don't have to go to another country or they don't have to go to another island community outside the United States. So we're very grateful to help.
Corcoran credits Rodriguez for breaking racial and ethnic barriers. Now to our own legendary weatherman who one day will be the subject of a documentary film. Here's Bob.
I did enjoy Chichi Rodriguez, though, playing here quite frequently at the Chrysler Cup again, and it was always enjoyable to watch him play. We are watching high pressure, Alan, right now dominate the weather over the southeast, and this high over Georgia, and this little bit of rain that you see down here associated with a weak area of low pressure is creating a pretty tight pressure gradient, and that is bringing us breezy conditions today. It will stay windy too tomorrow, but the breezy conditions, it looks like, will last through Wednesday and possibly even into Thursday. And small craft advisories have been placed across coastal waters of Florida right now. You see this area in purple. That is all a coastal, again, small craft advisory in effect until 10 a.m. Through the day. Tomorrow could be extended a little bit beyond that. Well, the frontal boundary has moved well to our south right now. The satellite imagery is showing some clouds down to our south, and currently we have some clouds around 73 degrees. Dew point is at 63. Humidity at 71%, and winds are out of the east-northeast. See at 14, so still a little bit windy out there, and the pressure 29.97 inches. That is on the rise. Tomorrow morning may be a little bit cool for the kids as a result of that northeast wind and temperatures dropping down to the low 60s. So it will be a little bit cooler tomorrow. The evening planner looks to be partly cloudy through 11 o'clock. Temperatures down into the mid 60s. As I mentioned, no mention of any rainfall here at all. A few showers along the east coast, but that is about it. And as far as current temperatures go, well, there they are, into the low 70s to mid 70s up and down the coast. A little bit cooler in Wauchula at 71. 75 in Venice, Inglewood at 76 degrees, 73 in Bradenton and Sarasota and Venice. Now you're at 75 degrees. And it looks as though temperatures again will be down into the lower 60s due to that northeasterly wind. You see some of those winds now anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour down in South Sarasota and western Charlotte County, northeast at 15 at Warm Mineral Springs, and Manasota Beach at 16 miles an hour. And as far as the forecast goes, it's going to be just like we saw today out on Casey Key. Gorgeous weather out there. A little bit windy for boaters, but not too bad for beachgoers.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, how to save our local retailers in the age of online shopping. Stay with us.
If you have the ABC7 News app on your iPhone or iPad, the good news is you're getting an upgrade. Android users, you'll get the upgrade automatically. But iOS users, you need to download the new ABC7 News app now before your current app expires. Just search My Suncoast in your app store to download. It's that easy to keep getting breaking news and weather alerts, video on demand, ABC7 live streaming, and more. Download the free ABC7 News app onto your iPhone and iPad now.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Attention blood thinner users. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
These are challenging times for traditional retail stores. Shoppers are trading the fight for a parking space at a local mall for wearing slippers and a robe and using a mouse to shop for holiday gifts online. ABC7's Erica Jackson reports of the retail industry wants to stay here. It needs to make some adjustments.
The National Retail Federation says 3 out of 4 of the top 50 online retailers are also brick-and-mortar companies. Even as online shopping becomes more popular, the NRF believes online is not killing traditional brick-and-mortar businesses.
When you shop local, the money's staying locally. When you're shopping online, it's not staying in your community.
Barbara Pugliesi's boutique on St. Armand's Circle has only been open for 4 years, but she needs to keep up with the changing shopping trends.
We try to find items that you can't buy online. So we try to get exclusivities with our artists.
Just because boutique faces some challenges, it sells limited quantities of unique items created by 70 artists across the country. Pugliesi won't sell her merchandise online because items sell quickly, but she tries to bring customers into the store by selling one-of-a-kind merchandise and promoting new products on social media.
We do try to do Facebook posts and keep our social media up, at least Instagram and Pinterest and items like that.
You'll continue to see this trend and shift of retailers who have this online footprint, but encouraging you to come into the store to make that purchase.
The mall at University Town Center's marketing and sponsorship director, Lauren Clark, says shoppers crave experience, which is why 90% of shopping still takes place at brick-and-mortar stores.
They walk in with wanting something and they walk out leaving with that item, which is a leveraging point that shopping centers have over e-commerce.
The National Retail Federation reports shoppers make less than 10% of purchases online. It says most online sales are from brick-and-mortar websites. Some online exclusive retailers are looking to improve its one-on-one customer interaction by opening retail boutiques in shopping centers.
E-commerce retailers are realizing that really have a full arrangement of shopping opportunities for consumers that they demand, they really have to have a brick-and-mortar store also.
Pugliesi is convinced shoppers are more invested in the item's price, which is why Just Because sells items for $6 up to $1,000.
People really do watch their pennies a little more than in past times, so we try to have things available for them that are beautiful and yet affordable.
Consumers are always looking for value, so it puts a certain stress on the department store, because everybody knows that, you see this, XYZ shirt, they're then going on their smartphone to see what the price is.
The number of retail employees is close to an all-time high. According to the NRF, nearly 13 million people are working for retail companies, and retailers are looking for even more employees specializing in engineering and technology positions. Reporting in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Coming up, a personal shopper and an economist. Let's go shopping for some answers at the Trapezoid.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue Wonders. Do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Welcome back. There's a reason why we don't have too many blacksmiths anymore, because the automobile was replaced by the horse and buggy. We still have malls, but many large brick and mortar retailers chains are struggling. Macy's alone closed 68 stores nationwide this year. So like anything, the name of the game, as the saying goes, is to adapt or die. Joining us for more is personal shopper Dawn Raidmaker and Michael Snipes, an economics instructor at USF Sarasota Manatee. So Dawn, let me start with you.
Sure.
What do you do? How long have you been doing that, and how does that basically, help get people into the stores and our local retailers to buy holiday gifts and all year round?
I'm a personal grocery shopper, so I primarily shop for groceries. So I'm pretty much an extension of that person. I work for those who can't get out and about anymore, so the older generation, also convalescing people, and vacationers.
And that's really a new way of doing things, because before, these services were not around, and basically you had to get to those stores.
Right, right.
Michael, in terms of what you're seeing in terms of economic trends, there's, our local malls and retailers want that business to come in. We want to give them that business, but as I said at the outset, we are so busy in our lives these days, and to fight traffic and to get to the mall to do our holiday shopping is becoming increasingly difficult.
Sure, and online shopping, online retail isn't going anywhere, right? But at the same time, because online retailing and online shopping is so convenient, we have lost a little bit of kind of that visceral, physical connection with shopping. And so, even though online shopping, online retail isn't going anywhere, I don't necessarily see that as really too much of a threat to the more traditional brick and mortar stores, because like the piece mentioned, most transactions, most shopping still takes place at a physical location. And so one of the things I think would be interesting is it does provide certain opportunities for more traditional stores to get creative. If we can just maybe find a way to kind of hybridize the online experience and the convenience of the online experience with kind of the more, I guess, more emotional connection of buying things in person.
Dawn, how do you combine the two? Because obviously what you provide is a great service to people who need it, but you also want to smell the tomato to make sure that it's fresh.
Right. I personally like to go and feel it, touch it, see it. I want to see the quality. I want to see what I'm buying. So for me, I'm an in-store shopper. And like I said, I'm just an extension for the people that I shop for. So they trust me. I built a trust relationship, so they, I know what they like, what they don't like, and I can bring it back and forth. Or
how has your relationship with the retailers, the stores, the grocery stores, evolved over time?
Well, they know me. They know I'm shopping for other people, so they really cater to me a little bit. If I need something, somebody runs in the back and gets it, or if they don't have the item, they'll get me something else. So we really have developed a personal relationship.
Michael, this is one area in which there is a new industry where just a couple of years ago there was none.
True, and to a certain extent, it's a business model that's been around. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, you had the CD warehouses where you could buy CDs through the mail. And so it's been a business model that's been around for a while, but it is moving into areas that it previously hasn't, like with groceries and things like this. That's a market in an area that previously was really kind of ignored, by and large, by that particular model.
Okay, we are just getting warmed up. We'll have much more on retail sales right after we check the first alert weather, so stay with us.
Describe a battery or bulb, and Batteries Plus bulbs will have it. Tell us what's broken on your smartphone, and we'll fix it.
I need a new battery for my phone.
And a new screen.
What did you do?
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to?
Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are.
Our conversation on retail sales continues right after we get a check on the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Thanks, Alan. Van Wezel webcam. We've seen this before. A beautiful sunset this evening. Just a few clouds around and winds and seas starting to pick up on a north to northeast wind, and that's going to be a problem tomorrow for boaters, so keep that in mind if you have any boating plans. Small craft advisories are in effect for boaters as seas will be really building throughout the day. 73 degrees. It's comfortable out there. We have just a few clouds around, and the dew point temperature is into the low 60s. Winds out of the east-northeast, a little brisk at 14 miles an hour. The pressure has been rising to 9.97 inches. High pressure still dominating our weather. The high today was above average, 82. Our average high at 79. This morning's low, 65. That too running high, although we'll be closer to these two numbers tomorrow. You'll notice that tomorrow to start the day off, a little bit cooler out there and a little bit windier too. The record low, 36, set back in 1968. It's been a very dry November thus far, and it should stay that way throughout Wednesday, Thursday, and even into the weekend. Despite the fact a cold front is headed our way, a stronger front will move through late Saturday and early Sunday, bringing with it some pretty chilly weather on Sunday and Monday with highs in winter-like as opposed to fall-like. 56 degrees in Jacksonville now. It's 68 in Orlando, 79 in Miami. Temperatures will drop down into the 40s in Tallahassee overnight. They're at 61 degrees currently. And for us, closer to home, all in the low to mid-70s right near the water, pretty close to the water temperature, which is 74 degrees right now, and into the interior portions of our viewing area in the low 70s. Well, statewide, I mentioned the 40s to start things off Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. We'll be in the low 60s here, 50 in Gainesville, and temperatures much warmer and milder in Key West at 74 to start the day off. We'll warm up into the upper 70s, pretty close to typical time temperatures for this time of year. 78 the expected high, and then again on Thursday morning we'll be down into the low 60s, while 40s will be confined to the northern part of the state. Gainesville at 48 degrees. Now we will see some upper 40s to low 50s here on Monday morning. That's right, so cooler temperatures are on their way. As for Thanksgiving, the long-range forecast is calling for some clouds to be around. Also, cooler temperatures. The high on Thanksgiving should be right around 70 degrees, it looks like now, with a good deal of rain on Black Friday when a lot of people go out to the stores and shop. So it could be a rather wet day on Friday. According to the European forecast model, a low will develop in the Gulf of Mexico on Thanksgiving and work across the state on Friday. Well, some showers along the East Coast, it looks like, for Futurecast. Not much rain going on here. We'll see some increase in cloudiness late in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, that little system kind of slides to the south, we'll have a nice day on Thursday, lots of sunshine around. Well, as far as the forecast goes for this winter, it all depends upon El Nino or La Nina. And La Nina is going to be in effect, it looks like. This little area that you see right here is the cooling of the water in the East Pacific, and it's a little bit cooler than average. And the forecast models are suggesting now that La Nina will be in place from now until April. And what that typically means is less severe storms here in the southeast United States. During that tornado outbreak we had a couple of seasons ago, we saw El Nino take place, and that usually means severe weather for Florida. There's that cooler water. You can see a little different graphic from NOAA right there showing up in the East Pacific. And as far as the possible winter impacts go, a lot cooler and wetter conditions across parts of California and out west. But for us, it'll be warmer and dry for the winter months. At least that's what typically happens when we have a La Nina situation set up. And looks as though that's going to be the case for this winter. Now, the satellite and radar picture showing pretty quiet weather over the southeast. That little system that you see right there is the reason why the windy conditions are continuing here along the Sun Coast. And as far as the forecast goes, we're not looking for much problem in terms of rain here. Over the northeast, just kind of a cool day today. Most of the storms have moved on off, and over the northern plains and northern Rockies, a few showers moving through the Dakotas, big storms out west into Washington. Well, for boaters tomorrow, I mentioned the small craft advisory. It will stay with us throughout the day. Winds will be up northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 4 feet, and choppy conditions out there. Water temperature still pretty warm for this time of year at 74 degrees. Tides upcoming on your screen, and the next sunrise will be at 6:51. And forecast tonight, partly cloudy, breezy and cooler. Northeast winds 10 to 15, and then for tomorrow, we'll start off with the low 60s, but we'll warm up into the upper 70s, and mostly sunny skies anticipated. The extended forecast calling for typical weather, November weather through Saturday. Then that cold front comes in on Sunday, cools things down for Sunday and Monday. We'll be right back right after this. Stick around.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
I heard about the Datoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Datoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Datoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with your pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Welcome back. It's that time of year. The holiday shopping season is about to begin, and the challenge for local stores is to make it worthwhile for shoppers to come in instead of shopping online. Joining us for more is personal shopper Dawn Raidmaker and Michael Snipes, an economics instructor at USF Sarasota Manatee. Michael, you saw in Erica's story that the local malls are saying, doing everything they can to get folks to come in, saying that it's the personal attention that is really what is most important to shoppers. But still, you see some of the numbers from the National Retail Federation that sales are expected to increase by 3.4%, but that's mostly going to online shopping.
Well, I think that what that does is it does present an opportunity for more traditional brick and mortar retailers. It does provide an opportunity for them, because what we're seeing is we're seeing a generation come up and just graduating from college and just starting their careers, and most of their life has been lived online. They'll go to school online, they make their purchases online, and so the online experience is no longer novel. It's become how they conduct business. And so we're seeing this a little bit in education too, in that the students who are now coming up, that online novelty, that online convenience has almost become passé. And what they are now desiring is kind of that more personal experience. And so I think for more traditional brick and mortar retailers, that presents an opportunity for them, that if they can market and cater to that specific demographic, that's an opportunity for them to increase sales.
I once saw a lecture about the news business and the consolidation and the deregulation in the news business, and I remember somebody saying to me that the news business will survive, but the road from there to here is going to be a rough one. Just in the last year, we have all these stores, these brick and mortar retailers that have filed for Chapter 11, which is just absolutely incredible. The Limited, Aerosols, Perfuma, Toys R Us. These are our retailers that we have just become so used to in our lives. Macy's, as I said at the outset, is closing so many stores. So is the idea that retailers that need to market themselves to the recent college grads that we're talking about here?
I certainly think that is something that they could pursue. That if we say that, if you come into our stores, you'll get a person-to-person experience, you'll get a face-to-face experience, something that you can't get online. And when you've grown up online, essentially, you lose that face-to-face contact. And then that could be something that could be an opportunity. Say, come in and you can actually experience the product. You can talk to somebody who is an expert, and you can ask them questions and get their opinions on things. And I think that could possibly present a real opportunity for brick and mortar retailers.
So Dawn, what is it that is an advantage to your customers? Because they can buy a lot of these products directly from Walmart. And in fact, there was a story in the news the other day that Walmart is not offering price discounts online because they want people to come into their stores.
Right. I can offer that to go and search out the best prices. For my customers, because we have that personal relationship, I know what they buy on a weekly basis. I know what they need. Maybe they don't need it this week, they need it next week, but when I'm in the store, it's on sale this week. So we have that trust, and I can buy it at that sale price this week, knowing they're going to need it next week. I'm like an extra brain for them. If they forget to put something on their list, I say, oh, what about this? And they're like, oh yeah, I needed that this week. Thanks for remembering. So for me, my business, I offer them a personal touch. They know they're going to deal with me every week. I'm going to be the one to deliver. I'm going to be the one having the conversation. And they're like we've become like family. My kids have extra grandparents now. They've come to birthday parties. They ask how the grandbaby is. It's very
and
personal.
The reality is, when you buy stuff online, that either you make a mistake in terms of your ordering, and you're ordering the wrong size or the wrong color or so forth. And yes, you could exchange those items, but it takes time. You have to go through a lot. And I would imagine that what you're offering is really kind of a new way that also keeps the local retailers in business.
Yes. Yes, and I love it. We want to keep our business in our community. We want to. You see new stores opening up all the time, all around. So people are wanting local items.
Michael, let me ask you this: it has been a real challenge for people who own malls, the big companies that do so over the last couple of years, especially in our area. You know, we have a local mall in Sarasota that is been closing stores a lot. On the other hand, you have the UTC mall, which is an incredible place to even just go and walk around. Is the name of the game to really kind of bump up the scale of a mall if they want to stay in business, because there's always a new one coming that's bigger and better?
I do think that's part of it. I mean, you got to stay ahead of the curve. You have to know who your customers are. You have to know the population that you're going to be serving. And so if you don't have the newest and the best and the brightest and the nicest, then you're probably going to get left behind. And so when you go to a mall like UTC, and, you know, it's nice and clean and it's new and it's exciting, and you're really trying to cater to your specific demographic. You're kind of marketing to the people who live in your population, in your city. And if you don't keep up with that, if you maybe have some areas around the mall that maybe become a little bit rougher, maybe aren't kept up as well, then that's certainly something that can feed into the mall.
Right, and of course, Don, one of the biggest complaints that shoppers have is the traffic, the parking. It can be maddening at some times. Do you see your business model growing into a way for people to make those purchases here locally, but they'll send you out to deal with that and not them?
Yeah, they don't have to deal with the traffic. They don't have to pay for the gas to go to the store. They don't have to spend the time online, physically online, not online, but in the line. So yeah, I definitely see that.
Is lost in terms of culturally, if people are not themselves going into those small stores that we saw in Erica's story there, and you know, that are part of our community down on Main Street.
One of the things that they mentioned in the piece that I thought was interesting is that, and it's very true, when you shop local, the money stays locally. And so if you were to buy something from Amazon, I mean, if you're buying a used good, you not necessarily know where that money's going. If you buy directly from Amazon, that's not staying in Sarasota.
Right, but we saw that with the advent of the malls. A lot of inner cities, you know, downtowns really basically closed up shop after the advent of the big mall.
That's true.
Yeah, and a lot of that was, again, just kind of reflecting changes in population. People were moving away from city centers, moving into the suburbs. That's where the malls are going to locate.
Okay, we have to take a quick break, and we'll be back for final thoughts in a moment.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-918-5654. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
And our guests join us right now for final thoughts. And Donna, I'll start with you. From your perspective, what do you think how your business model is going to expand that will get people the services and the things that they need here locally in keeping retailer brick and mortar in business locally, and how that's different from what a lot of people are doing more and more in terms of just ordering their stuff online?
Keeping business locally, keeping it locally, and having a personal touch, having somebody come and visit with you, or being that extra set of eyes, knowing your likes, dislikes. Maybe I see something else that I know you might like, and I can just call you up and say, I see this for a really great deal. You wanted this, but I also see this, and just adding to that shopping experience and knowing their dislikes and
that's not something that people get just by shopping online.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Michael, it seems to me that you can't argue with the trends that we are seeing in terms of these major corporations that are going out of business. I take your point in terms of being able to see a product yourself, touch it and feel it, try it on, and so forth. But what is your concern about some of these legendary major retailers and their futures?
Well, from a strictly spending standpoint, from a strictly economic standpoint, it really, all it is really just kind of just changing of the times. It may be that what's happening is these retailers are experiencing a change in kind of consumer preferences. So consumers are maybe moving away from these more traditional brands because they see them as being older. Maybe that's where my parents shopped. We want to go someplace a little bit more different.
I remember Caldor's as well. All right. Before we go, we want to share with you what some of you had to say about last night's show and the continuing search for Sarasota teenager Jabaz Spann. Spann has been missing since Labor Day. There have been few leads. There are cries from the family asking for more help from the community. We went to Facebook to hear what some of you had to say, and Amy says, "This has been breaking my heart for 2 months now, praying for Jabez. Thank you, Wayne Washington, for all your efforts to find him." Heather says, "There are so many people that have no clue about this boy missing. It is unbelievable." SMH. Renee says, "The possibilities aren't good. I'm just hoping he ran for his own safety and is well and unharmed." And so do we. If you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/mysuncoast.com.abc7. And FYI, you can watch past discussions on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. And also a reminder, you can get all the latest local and national news on your smartphone app. But if you are an Apple iOS user and have the old version of our app, you'll need to go to get rid of it by the end of the month. If you don't have the new app, you're going to miss all the news, video, and notifications that will keep you connected to our community. The app will update automatically for Android users. All smartphone users can find the new app by searching for My Suncoast in the App Store. We want to thank our guests for being here tonight, personal shopper Dawn Raidmaker and Michael Snipes, an economics instructor at USF Sarasota Manatee. When we return, we'll have a final look at the importance of strong management, plus Attorney General Jeff Sessions is grilled on Capitol Hill on whether or not he lied under oath on the Trump campaign meeting with Russia. Stay with us.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess?
You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Your primetime headlines are coming up in a moment, but right now let's turn to ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern, who is about to talk about one big company not sharing in the high-flying gains we're seeing in the stock market. Richard, that is GE.
General Electric, motherhood, apple pie. I mean, it doesn't get more iconic than General Electric. They've been in business for 125 years. Certainly, we all know them. We all have multiple products that they make. And need I say, the stock has been just a dreadful performer this year. Out of the 30 stocks in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it ranks number 30.
And as a result, they are cutting their dividend by 50%. And that marks only the third time in the company's 125-year history. In and of itself, what does that say?
Well, it says several things. First of all, it says they need cash, because if you cut your dividend in half, and remember how many shareholders and how many shares outstanding, that's a significant savings for them. But it also means that they're trying to get the message across to their shareholders that, hey, we've got to turn this ship around. Senior management certainly struggled with it, and right now they're a company that's in trouble.
A couple of questions. By comparison, we have some graphics to illustrate this. General Electric, Amazon, and Disney. What are we seeing?
Well, if you take a look at the year-to-date returns, there you see GE down 35%. With the move in the last day or so, it's actually down more than 40%. If you take a look at the year-to-date numbers, that's the figure. They're down 4% over a 3-year period, and over a 5-year period, up 3%. And frankly, if you compare that with almost any other company,
Amazon and Disney.
Well, Amazon certainly is. We'll take a look at that. Up 50%, and that's when GE is down 40%. Same timeline. Up 55%. Up 38%. Now, I grant you they're different companies, but there's so much importance of management and what management has to do.
Well, that was my next question, and we're also seeing Disney.
Yeah, Disney,
up there as well,
which is marginal at best, I would say.
So, does this really basically fall at the feet of management?
It certainly starts with senior management. Jeffrey Immelt was named as the successor to the famous Jack Welch. That was 18 years ago, and it was really quite a battle. There were 3 very senior executives. Jeffrey Immelt was chosen, and frankly, when he took position, the stock was 40. Now it's below 20.
When you look at all the various businesses that GE owns, they used to own NBC, they got rid of that a couple of years ago. Is it the number of diversified businesses that they own that are really kind of accounts for this plunge?
Certainly it's a part of it. They've sort of lost their way, if you will. There are certain divisions that are doing very well. They said yesterday when they announced the dividend cut that they're going to be emphasizing their healthcare division. They're going to be emphasizing their aviation division, which of course they make General Electric jet engines. But their problem is that they've got a lot of divisions that are losing money, and rather than either selling them off or finding a way to make them profitable, they have just continued to let them go and go and go, and that's how you wind up cutting your dividend.
I want to ask you about another issue. We had just been talking about retail sales and personal shoppers and how that's still very important for in the lives of a lot of people who live here on the Sun Coast. But there's a difference between that kind of desire and need and all the things that you could get in terms of help these days, and how some of these large retailers, the brick and mortars, are doing in terms of their profits and their stocks.
Well, if you take a look at Macy's as an example, their stock has literally lost half of its value in the last 12 months. JCPenney, same way. You can go through all of them. The one thing that they have, particularly Walmart has in its favor, is they're trying to fight back at Amazon. They're saying Walmart.com, we're spending money on it, we're putting in infrastructure. If we can't beat them, join them. We are going to compete with Amazon.
And in fact, Walmart, correct me if I'm wrong, is saying that they are not going to offer price discounts online. They want you to come into their stores and buy from there in terms of their brick and mortars.
Right. And as Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? I guess we'll find out after Christmas, because there are an awful lot of people who just like to shop at home, and they can do it on Walmart.com. But if they're going to be paying more to buy it online than going in the store, then the question is that going to work for them?
All right, Richard, thank you very much. Richard Stern joins us every other Tuesday to discuss the stock market, business, and more. We'll have our primetime headlines when we return, so stay with us.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Checking primetime headlines, the Attorney General defending himself on Capitol Hill as lawmakers on both sides of the aisle demand answers. Jeff Sessions coming under fire over whether he lied about the Trump campaign's contact with the Russians and whether the Justice Department is being used to do the president's political bidding. ABC's Janae Norman is following the latest from Capitol Hill.
The nation's top law enforcement official facing tough questions, forced to defend himself. Democrats demanding answers as to whether Attorney General Jeff Sessions lied last month when he testified before senators that he wasn't aware of Trump campaign contacts with Russians.
The campaign had communications with the Russians through Mr. Papadopoulos and others, and 2, you seem to have been aware of the fact at the time.
A guilty plea from former Trump advisor George Papadopoulos revealed at this 2016 meeting, Sessions was aware of Papadopoulos offering to arrange a meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin.
I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie. I believe that I wanted to make clear to him that he was not authorized to represent the campaign with the Russian government.
And questions swirling around the new revelation Sessions authorized federal prosecutors to examine allegations that donations to the Clinton Foundation influenced a decision by the Obama administration to allow a Russian agency to buy the Nuclear One company and decide whether there's any merit to appoint a special counsel, a move that has some asking whether the independent Justice Department is caving to pressure from the president.
Is it common for the leader of the country to order the criminal justice system to retaliate against his political opponent?
The Department of Justice can never be used to retaliate politically against opponents, and that would be wrong.
And it wasn't just Democrats with tough questions. One Republican congressman wanted to know why no special counsel has been appointed to investigate the actions of Hillary Clinton and former FBI Director James Comey. The Attorney General saying there would need to be a factual basis and proper standards met for that to happen. On Capitol Hill, Janae Norman, ABC News.
At least 5 people, including the gunman, are dead after a shooting in Northern California. There were a total of 7 crime scenes, including an elementary school. The shooting apparently didn't start at the school, but began with a domestic incident involving the shooter. Authorities say it looks like the attacker was randomly picking targets. Police eventually shot him to death. Investigators recovered a semi-automatic rifle and 2 handguns they believe the gunman used in the attack. A 14-year-old killed in last week's deadly church shooting in Texas has been laid to rest. A funeral for Annabelle Pomeroy, the pastor's daughter, was held yesterday. Pomeroy was gunned down inside the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs last week. People traveled from across the country to pay their respects. The church has been turned into a memorial for the victims. President Trump is heading home. The president boarded Air Force One day after a 13-day 6-stop tour through 5 Asian countries. On his last full day of talks in Manila, President Trump said it was a very fruitful trip and says he will give a major announcement on trade sometime this week. Hurricane Irma was bad for business unless you are Home Depot. Hurricane-affected customers spent $282 million at the home improvement stores, lifting sales to $25 billion last quarter. That's an 8% increase from the same time last year. This after several stores in hurricane-affected areas faced shortages from supplies and delays, and some stores were even forced to close for a few days. Iran is trying to recover from the world's deadliest earthquake this year. At least 452 people were killed in the 7.3 magnitude quake near the border with Iraq. It was felt as far away as Pakistan and Turkey. Some villages were completely destroyed and thousands of people were injured. And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohen. Thanks for joining us and have a good night.